Yeah. Got me a new intro. Wonder if y'all liking that new intro. I know I am. As I pop my Altoids. Gotta keep my breath fresh, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, dog? I said this next episode would be Watch Your Mouth. Well, I changed my mind again. Duty calls, man. I gotta stick to a plan. It's all a part of the plan. And there was an original plan that I started out with when I switched up this channel. I gotta keep it going. So, Watch Your Mouth will be coming, but for today, I'm gonna drop a video that I've been meaning to drop for months now. This was the video that I wanted to drop 3 months ago, but I didn't really know how quite to do it or how I wanted to approach it. The video was about what to do when you live in an older house like I do, and there are no ground wires. I'll have to do a video on grounding, but I mean, you can Google it, you can YouTube it. There's plenty of great videos out there that break down the grounding system and how it should work. As I was in year 2, going through school, going to work, using these tools, doing my thing, learning these rules, the more I started learning, the more I realized, like, oh, you know, maybe I should start looking behind plugs in my house, looking behind the plugs and checking out the wiring, you know, because I'm in a power and lighting class, and they were just breaking things down. Like, hey, if you have outlets that are backfed, you may want to watch out for that, right? And they're showing these pictures and stuff, and I'm thinking, you know what? I think I might have those in my house. Came back to the house, pulled the outlets out, looked at the wiring, and sure enough, they were backfed, right? So where I'm getting at with this video is, if you live in a house that does not have a ground wire going out to your devices, out to your outlets, there's a way around it based off of the code. Man, all my stuff's not in this room, and I don't feel like getting up and running and grabbing it. The NEC, we are currently under 2023. It breaks down what you can do to work around not having ground wires to go out to your devices. This is the topic of the video: what to do in the event that you don't have, again, ground wires that are going out to your outlets. I mean, that can be very, very dangerous, right? When it comes to circuits, I like to say it's like a loop. With the way things are wired up, right? These are the wires that are coming to your device, right? The power is coming from the source. Call this a source. This is the actual plug. So you got, this is something that I have that I hooked up. You got the power that comes in through the hot wire, hits your device, boop, and then the neutral sends the power back to the source. That's why I say it's a loop. So if you're looking at this, right, and the plug is plugged in over here, and don't do this at home, by the way. This is just what I do, okay? Don't be doing what I do. Never once did I say I am a professional. I am an apprentice. Yes, I have a job. I am an employee, but I am not a licensed electrician. I am not a licensed electrician. Do not do what I do. I told you in the last video, if there's anybody who's gonna break it down for you, who's gonna get you right, it's not me. But I'm gonna share my journey with you, okay? I'm gonna share my journey with you. But what comes down to me is what I'm learning in this program. Very solid program, the IBEW. And the guys that I'm working with, some non-union who organized over, got tremendous experience, and a lot of them union guys, you know? Like my new business manager for the YouTube page, boy. I got a new business manager for the YouTube page. What you know about it? And he's giving me some insight, and I'm listening. I got some advisors as I chop this stuff up and I'm serving it to y'all. You know what I mean? He's giving me some recipes and whatnot. You feel me? You feel me? And then I got some other people in my corner. Got journeyman I've been working with, giving me some recipes. These mentors I'm telling y'all about, giving me some recipes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I can chop this stuff up and serve it up to you real gourmet style. What you know about it? Anyway, power. Your device absorbs it, right? Current's flowing through, and then it converts into power, into wattage that is consumed by the device that plugs in to this thing that we call an outlet. And then through the neutral, it returns back to the source. So if something goes haywire with this, there's a ground screw that was on here, but I tore this thing apart. You got your terminal screws for where you can land the wire. You got silver for your neutral, and then you got gold for your hots, right? And then there's supposed to be a green terminal screw down there for the ground, but I ripped it out. So if something goes haywire, right, with this device or with the wiring, what's supposed to happen is the ground wire is a fail-safe. What could go haywire is a spike, let's say, the flow of current that's flowing into the device. If it's more than what's supposed to be there, then there's gonna be a fail-safe, and it sends it to the ground wire, the green wire. The green wire is not supposed to have a steady flow of current. It's just there just in case stuff goes sideways. In my particular case, when I'm learning all this, and then I'm pulling the out of the wall, and I'm looking at the wiring, and I'm like, hey, yo, man, where's my ground wire? I'm sitting here like, yo, I actually got to do something about this. The journeyman I was working with over the summer, he's done a lot of residential work. I'm explaining it to him, and he told me about this little trick with the GFI or the GFCI. And he's well read on the code book. So he couldn't remember specifically the code. I think he kind of gave me the section. So I came home, I looked it up, and I found it. Boom. Again, I am not a professional. Consult a professional, all right? Not a handyman, you know, a little bit of electrical, you know what I'm saying? Or they might be in plumbing or whatever. I'm trying to cover myself, y'all. Call a professional, okay? And they will confirm this for you. In an NEC, you can look it up. I think you may have to look it up on the NFPA website. You can look up the section on what it says about replacing an outlet that does not have a ground with a GFCI. And that's what I ended up doing in my household. Now, I would make this like a real whimsical, colorful video, but I don't feel like bouncing around the house. I'm being lazy today, all right? It's my day off. The conversation I had with, oh boy, was saying that essentially what a GFCI does, I gotta get serious for a second, it is known as a ground fault current interrupter. You see, if something goes haywire, your GFCI will detect a spike in the current flow. One of the reasons, there were two reasons why I took this out and replaced it. One being, we've got 3-prong devices that we need to plug up, and we only had 2 prongs in a lot of places, right? And for 2, I'm like, yo, there's no ground. The 3rd prong is for the ground. If there's no ground wire attached behind it, then what in the world am I supposed to do? So my journeyman told me about the code, the NEC code, that said, hey, you can use a GFCI to replace this. But now, when you go out to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever, and you buy a pack of ground fault circuit interrupters, GFIs or GFCIs, you have little stickers that come with them that say GFCI protected, no ground provided, something along those lines. Well, by code, you're supposed to take those stickers and slap it over the top of the faceplate, which I don't have one with me, but y'all know what a faceplate is. You put this in a wall, and it's a decorative, nice little piece, a little rectangular square that you place on top of it, right? So that people know, oh, okay, this is protected by the GFCI, but there's no ground wire here. So let me tread lightly. What a GFCI does is it detects the amount of current that's flowing into this. Because this device is rated for a certain amount of current. If there is a spike that is of an alarming amount, the GFCI detects that. The amount that comes in has to equal the amount that goes out. And it's a constant, it's at the speed of light practically. But it's going really fast. Flashing really fast, right? And so it's detecting in this loop a steady amount. Well, if there's a spike in it, that's what makes your GFCI trip. Pop! And then you got to reset it. Click, click. All right, man, it was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Now let me go back and let me plug in the device on this same circuit over yonder and get back to what I was doing. Vacuuming or whatever. And then you plug it back in and then pop, freaks out again. There's a spike in the current that this is detecting and it's doing its job. When you don't have a ground wire, ta-da! It's just the thing you need. It's a little different. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. You got 3 prongs because, hey, even though my house was made back during the Flintstone age, I can modernize this thing and work with it. It's a beautiful thing. Just bringing everybody up, making everybody a modern family. But you can do that. I'm going to show you just a rough idea of how I threw all of this stuff together. But it also will let you see how the wiring is kind of ran behind your house and how you get from point A to point B with replacing, if you have a similar situation where you have 2 prongs and you want to replace them with 3 prongs, but you don't have a ground wire. It's not the end of the world. I have created an animation for a demonstration. You know what I'm saying? Here's a quick rundown on how I replaced the regular plugs with the GFCIs. The main thing that you have to identify is if you have a series of outlets, to find the first one that is receiving the wires from your panel. Now behind the walls, it might look a little something like this. In this particular situation, I have a living room that sort of looks like this layout, where the small white boxes along the walls represent the outlets. Go and take the outlets out, undo the pigtails of the wires that were attached to the outlet, and then go back to the main panel and cut on the main power. And then what you have to do is take your hot stick and go and very carefully go and touch the hot wires that are pulled out from each of those outlets. And the one that lights up is the one that's receiving the main power from the main panel. That's how you would find it without tearing all the walls out. Since I found the main outlet that was receiving power from the panel, the first outlet in the series of outlets, I put my GFCI on that one and I ran the wires to the line side of that GFCI. And all of the extra outlets that were downstream from that, I replaced those that were 2-prong outlets with regular 3-prong outlets, and then just reattached the wires to those, connecting the circuit. So those were now protected by the first outlet coming out of the panel, which was now a GFCI outlet. And since then, there have been times when we maybe plugged up a vacuum or some device when the circuit was already overloaded or maxed out, and that GFCI tripped as a result, letting us know, hey, we're maxing out this circuit, so we need to compensate this somehow, or use another circuit of outlets in order to use this device. So even though we don't have ground wires back here, my circuit is now protected by the GFCI because it is done according to the code. It works out, baby.